Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is the last webinar for the year, and it's great to see you all on this December morning. Our aim is to show you what systems we use to keep our pipeline full. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lydia Vorster, and together with my husband, Andre, we've been real estate agents in the northern suburb of Cape Town since 2005. Our daughter Shanae also joined us 2 years ago, so we really know and use the systems. But without further ado, let me hand you over to my husband and colleague, Andre Vorster.
Thank you, Lydia. Right, so there we go. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all here. Many of you we know quite well, and many of you have been on our previous webinars. But let's dive right into today's. So, this is a simple truth. Technology isn't going to replace us as agents. I often say this, but the agents who use it are definitely going to replace those who don't. Okay, so 2026 is going to be a turning point, in my opinion, in our industry. And those agents that adapt now are going to get ahead, while the rest are going to fall behind. That is a fact. Now, today, I want to show you exactly what's working for us and for hundreds of other top agents around the world, locally and globally. It's also important to note that AI, artificial intelligence, has shifted now from a nice to have to actually a core business tool that is essential in our daily business. But okay, as you see there, I say AI will not replace us as agents, but those who use it will outperform those who don't. Lydia has told you a bit about ourselves. Also, just important why we do these things and these webinars is we have our own team, and it's growing fast, of more than 230 agents is our team within EXP in South Africa. EXP currently has 1,400 agents and growing fast, and of those 1,230 are in our group. And I like to stay up to date with tech and trends and then put together things that I know can help our agents, because they don't necessarily have the time to be researching these things and staying up to date. So that's where this is coming from. Please can I ask that all questions asked, you're welcome to ask questions, but please only ask them after the presentation, so we don't get sidetracked now and then maybe we don't get through the whole presentation. So questions afterwards, please. You're welcome to put questions in the chat box in the meantime so we can address them later in case you're scared you're going to forget your question. And so on that note, obviously, can I please ask that everybody mutes their mics now and during the presentation so we don't have any disturbances, and we can put them back on afterwards. Right, so why is this webinar important? Why does it matter? Real estate is changing very, very fast. It's probably changing faster than most agents can actually keep up with, right? It's tech, it's AI, it's marketing, it's compliance. Everything is changing very, very fast. And we as agents, while we can easily feel overwhelmed by all of this, as I said there, most agents are working harder than ever and most probably earning less commission for that hard work than previously. And they're doing all this hard work now without the systems that can actually make the work easier. So today what I want to do is I just want to simplify this a bit and show you the tools that can immediately strengthen your personal brand and improve your productivity. So after all our previous general ChatGPT and AI webinars, many agents actually asked us what all the other tools are that we use in our business. So on that, just a quick note before we begin. Yes, we are with EXP, and many of the tools that we use and that sit inside our ecosystem are what you're going to see today. But some of what I'll show you today is not all EXP. Okay, some of it is and some of it isn't. Some are just external tools that other agents can also use. The goal today is simply to help you make informed decisions about what will work for you and for your business going forward. Okay, so basically, if you walk away today with a bit more clarity and practical ideas, then I think we've achieved what we came here to do. All right, so the future of real estate. The future of real estate is going to reward those agents who actually build scalable, system-driven businesses. Okay, this is where technology comes in. So, look, these days you should know your clients expect speed, they expect professionalism, they expect consistency, and technology is what's going to help you and can help you, and is already helping us to deliver that to our clients effortlessly, basically. Okay, so to think of today's session more of almost like a business plan, a tech business plan. Let's call it a blueprint. So let's think of it as a blueprint of what a modern day real estate business could and should look like. Okay. Remember that the tools that we mentioned today, all tools, all technology, all AI, these tools are meant to free up your time for you, help make you more productive. It's not to replace you. So it's meant to free you up so that you can spend more time with people, spend more time in personal relationships. This is a relationship business, first and foremost. The tools are there to help us. Okay. So today's agenda, this is sort of the structure of today's session. I've divided it into 3 sessions, so 3 clear sessions so you can follow along easily. Section 1 is going to be pretty much about lead generation and lead nurturing and so on. It's really the lifeblood of any modern agent's business, right? So we're going to look at that and any tools and systems that can help you with that. Section 2 is going to be listing and marketing systems, everything that gives you the professional edge, both locally and internationally. Remember, these days your exposure out there of your listings, etc., is got to be top notch. Okay, so we're going to look at all those type of systems, and then third, we're going to look at training and AI and how we should continuously upskill ourselves so we can stay relevant, and then how we can actually do that. So just remember, everything I'm going to show you today is practical, and we use it daily. Okay. Let's get going. Section 1. So as I said, with Section 1, we're going to look at lead generation and all the systems that you can use to help you stay top of mind out there on a consistent basis. So when you use the right tools, you're going to generate better leads, but the main thing is you're going to be able to also nurture them better into the future so that you will eventually convert more people into actual business. Nurturing leads is extremely important. It doesn't help you get a lead today if he's going to sell in 3 or 5 years' time. You've got to nurture that lead. You've got to stay top of mind somehow. So we're going to be looking at that. So basically, this section will show you exactly how we go about creating predictable growth by generating leads, but also nurturing them. Okay. What we're going to see, let me just reassure you, none of this is overwhelming. Okay. Once everything's set up, it's not overwhelming at all. Anybody can do it. Right. So what is every agent's sort of daily battle, right? Every agent knows, this pain almost, like multiple systems. We've got so many systems and tools, especially these days, that we need to access, and with multiple logins, and then none of them talk to each other. And that is where many agents lose a lot of time and they lose focus. So we I'm going to show you the system we use that simplifies all of this dramatically. So let me show you what a unified system looks like. That just makes everything easier because you've got so many multiple tools, especially as you move forward into 2026. So we've got a system that we call Okta. It's our all-in-one single sign-on system, if you want to call it that we use to access all our systems. So basically, you've got one universal login with one password, then a dashboard, which I'll show you, and everything is there in one place. So it removes that sort of frustration of jumping between systems all day because we're using so many of them. So we will access our CRM, all of our marketing tools we're going to look at today, Flickr systems, flow marketing. You can carry on. You will see we're going to access them all from this one system. This alone, just this handy tool, probably saves us hours of time every week. This is basically what our dashboard looks like. It's called our Okta dashboard. So you log into this with your username and password if you're an XP agent, and you have just access to all the systems. And we're going to be looking at many of these today. So, I mean, like you can say, almost every tool you'll see today is accessed from the single screen. So it really brings order to the chaos that we used to experience. So yeah, so you'll see there. I'm not going to go into this because we're going to be looking at them one by one, many of them. Right. So first off, what I want to start off with, this is very EXP related, but it's one of our biggest advantages that we have. Agents need support, right? We all know that. Support is very often a huge weakness in many traditional agencies. Agents really need real humans, real answers, but most importantly, they need fast solutions when things go wrong. Okay, so the question is, where do we go for instant support? You all know we're a cloud-based business. I mean, the virtual world, and it all sounds a bit airy-fairy. But where do we go for instant support? I'm going to show you exactly how this works in real life, in our lives. Okay, so what you're about to see is almost like a full head office in your pocket, on your phone or on your laptop. Right, let's have a quick look at that. So EXP World. This is where support becomes completely different from anything you've ever seen before, right? EXP World, as I said, it gives you actually a whole head office in your pocket or on your laptop. There's reception, there's specialized departments you can go to for support. You can hold meetings there. Whenever you need help with listings or transactions or technology, tech, anything that you can think of, you simply will walk right into the virtual world, which is just the link you click on your internet. You walk right in, and there's always someone available to assist you. So agents are often very surprised by how human and responsive this virtual setup actually feels, right? But let's have a bit of a look at that. So again, obviously you can access it from Okta, but also you can just simply save the link, which takes you right into the South African world. It's just a link, and you go straight in and you can get support. Actually, here I made a quick recording of me going into the world. We're not going to do too much of these type of recordings because they take a lot of time, but this will give you a bit of an idea. So here I actually go into the world. There's always someone at reception, one of our expert care desk people. They take turns. At this stage, Irene was in there. So yeah, when you log in, this is the first place you will land, and there is always someone there. You can get help immediately, and they'll steer you in the right direction. And this alone also, I mean, this saves us countless hours, right? There's no driving in traffic. There's no waiting for an admin to get back to you or to get back from lunch. And there's no waiting because someone's off sick. There's always someone available in EXP World. Okay, so I'm going to quickly play this video. Just give you a bit of an introduction.
How are you? Hi, Irene. Very well, thanks. And you?
Sorry, guys. I just quickly putting the volume.
And I'm actually just taking a couple of agents on a tour of all the offices. So I'll go ahead, and you must have a wonderful day. Fantastic. If you have any questions, please don't be shy to come and visit me at the reception. Thanks so much, Irene. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay, so as you saw there, I hope everybody could hear. Give me a thumbs up. I hope you actually heard the sound. Okay, great. So that's just a quick intro. And as you see from there, here I'm walking down. So you would tell me who I need to go and see for any specific problem. Here you will see every single person in the South African support staff has their own office. Right down the bottom there, you even see Andrew's office, who's our country leader or the national principal of EXP South Africa, and so on. But there's a lot more, which I'm going to just show you screenshots of quickly. There we go. Right, so firstly, as you saw there, as I started walking, there's support offices, right? So dedicated offices for all management and support staff. So every single department you need is here and fully staffed. You simply walk in, ask your question, and a real human is going to help you. Now, you just think about that. That level of quick, direct access is actually unheard of in this industry. But using technology, it's at our fingertips. This is what an office looks inside. So any one of the support staff, if you had to go and see them, then it pretty much looks like this. You'll go and sit on a chair. They'll be sitting on a chair. But then there's screens on the wall. So they can tell you and instruct you and help you to share your screen so you can show them what your problem is. They can also share their screen. So you could actually be flipping between two screens as they show you what you should be doing or anything like that. So you can get issues really resolved on the spot very, very easily. It's hands-on support. And the nice thing is you get this support without ever needing to travel at all. So again, time saver, efficiency, convenience, everything. Within EXP World, you've got various boardrooms. So this is an example of a boardroom where we can host meetings and team sessions and training. So spaces like these allow groups of agents to meet. So you could even meet with a group of agents. So you can meet and collaborate and learn together. There's also screens all over the wall, right? So people can present anything you can think of. They can share their webcam, they can share presentations, they can show videos, anything, right? Go on the internet. So all these help a lot for presentations and so on. So smaller scale training can also happen here. So this is really, and remember, just all of this EXP world, one of the big things is you must remember that this replaces expensive office overheads that all other agencies have, which brings, in other words, it saves EXP a lot of money. And this is not the point of today, but that's also what helps them to be able to compensate their agents so much better in so many ways. But that's a different topic. Okay, boardrooms. Now, auditoriums like this one, they can take up to 1,500 people. So they're used for bigger events and training sessions and national meetings. We have a monthly meeting in here, for instance, where EXP will, all the management will tell us what's happening and what we can expect going forward, what new technology is coming, and so on and so forth. So when there's anything important happening, you simply log in, go straight to this auditorium, no travel, no stress, and you're in. So this is another example of how cloud-based systems like this actually remove barriers and it makes knowledge more accessible, right? Yeah, and as I mentioned, there you can see all the multiple screens. So you've got multiple presenters that can set up screens beforehand. So it's not like a Google meeting like this one. If somebody else now wants to present, then I must first unshare my screen and that person, and people are fiddling around. They set it up for every presenter beforehand, and things happen quick and smoothly as the presenters chop and change. Anyway, then as you're within EXP world, there's all sorts of info hubs, right? A multiple bunch of info hubs. So it's also little rooms that you can go into. And these give you quick access if you need information about any one of the specific systems that we have, like let's say Flow Marketing or iBid or, well, any of these you're going to see today. So you can go in there, or if you need info about any of our third-party providers like bond originators or foreign currency people, etc., then you can go and get information there, and also information about how you can actually earn extra income streams and third-party referral income from these third-party providers. Then there's also trained AI bots. I think there's actually one room, transaction bot room. There, Naledi is in there, that's a bot. So that's a bot that's been trained to answer all our questions regarding transactions. So there's bots like that so that you can even get help after hours. So this is all designed to empower agents, right? So you can self-learn at your own pace also when necessary by going to these different hubs and things. Okay, so everything you need, basically just a few steps away, you just pop in and out, and you can go in here at your leisure anytime. Right. Now I'm going to move on to our next topic, right, out of EXP world. Where do we find the right documents? Where do you find your documents when needed? So we previously we used to constantly be hunting for documents, hunting for the right OTP, the right mandate documents, latest addendums or correct compliance documents, whatever you need to make sure you've got the latest and the correct ones. You never know where to find them, etc., etc. Okay, so what do we use at EXP? We've got a system that solves that for us. It's called the Agent Center, and I'll show that to you now. So our Agent Center solves this whole problem completely by giving you the latest and, of course, the most legally updated documents. So if you go in there, you're getting the latest things that are necessary. So you always know where to find the latest correct OTP or mandate or addendum or whatever. And of course, what's very nice is you can access this from anywhere, and you don't have to ask anyone for them, and you don't have to wait for them to send it to you, right? So this is very convenient, but it also reduces your compliance risk. Maybe you're using outdated things. So if your legal team updates a document, then it's sitting there waiting for you. All right. So back to our Okta dashboard, as I showed you in the beginning with all our systems, this is just to show you. So you would access this Agent Center simply with one click. You just click on EXP Agent Center within your Okta dashboard, and you're in. Yeah, I've just got a quick screenshot that just sort of show you how clean and easy it looks. Once you're in there, you can just browse the various menus as I'm showing over there, and it'll take you into different sections. Here, for instance, got the Office Docs section. This is the one you'll use most as an agent, usually. So here you've got all your OTPs. I mean, this actually scrolls down. Right? There's hundreds of documents, all your OTPs and your FICA documents and things. So you don't waste time digging through folders or old emails trying to find things. Everything is always right here. This saves real time in our daily lives. And as I said, it also reduces the chance that we're actually using outdated or wrong documents. Okay. There's also a section for company documents, very handy, like you've done a deal and you've given it to the attorneys, and the attorneys, of course, want the FFC for the company as well, etc. So here you can go and always download the latest FFC for the company, even for our principal, they'll offer ask for that as well, and so on. And then you'll see there's policies and procedures. So you can access everything you need here on the Agent Center as far as documents and information go. Even the logos and branding guidelines. So there's PDFs you can download. We all have Canva Pro, and it's an enterprise Canva Pro, so it has an EXP section also built into the Canva Pro. So you can just click there and it takes you straight to your Canva toolkit. Within Slack, we've also got the logo. So to get your branding things is very, very easy. And then to make sure you're always compliant with EXP's branding guidelines, you can also download the brand guidelines in here. Okay, so moving on again. Lead generation. Now, there you see I've put lead generation in an evolving world. Lead generation has changed completely over the last, very short space of time, actually. And the agents who adopt artificial intelligence are going to have a massive advantage from now on. Okay? So, our philosophy is that we must be at the front of AI adoption. That's in any case what I always try to do, and EXP does the same. So you want to use data and automation and tools and put them all together, right? So that you can actually win going forward. The agents who embrace this early are definitely going to be the ones who get ahead the fastest. Right, so let's have a look at how this all works. Firstly, most agents struggle with lead generation, actually. Many agencies still operate with outdated systems, no real CRM, no automation, no artificial intelligence. Maybe they're even still on Excel files for all you know. Okay, this leaves agents actually guessing, and they're actually working harder than they should, because these systems should make things simpler for us. Now, modern CRMs use data intelligently, and then they help you to nurture your leads and prosper going forward because you're nurturing them properly. So the result of a proper and modern CRM is going to be lead generation that actually delivers predictable results. You're going to always have a plan, you know what you're doing, and the results are going to become predictable. So with the best CRM, this is the main thing you must remember, is it's not about luck, it's actually about structure. So being successful going forward is not going to be because you're lucky, it's because you're using the right tools and you are structured. Okay, so practical lead generation tools. There's obviously a lot of lead generation tools one can use. So we personally use a mix of these tools on a daily basis for lead generation. Remember, here I'm not speaking about other lead generation, which should actually often be your main focus, which is actually always tapping into your sphere of influence so that they can send you referrals, so you work by referral. That's a separate conversation. Yeah, we're just looking at the tools we have. So this is a mix of tools that we personally use on a daily basis for lead generation. So Lightstone, many of you will know Lightstone. Lightstone gives us the data we need, right? Then the virtual agent gives us owner contact details. So we could find owners on Lightstone, and then we can get their contact details on the virtual agent. And then our PropCon CRM, which we're going to look at, keeps everything organized and just takes it all into the future. So when you combine all these tools with other artificial intelligence and targeted online ads and so forth, then suddenly your lead flow actually becomes consistent and productive for you. Right. So these tools, if used correctly, definitely help us stay and will help you stay visible and relevant to property owners. As I mentioned before, you need to stay relevant. That's nurturing a lead. You need to stay visible and relevant so that when one of your leads is ready to transact in property, you will be top of mind and you will be the one they think of. Okay. So this is a simple set of tools, but it's incredibly powerful when used correctly together. Okay, let's look firstly at Lightstone. So many of you, as I said, will be familiar with Lightstone. Lightstone gives you all the property reports you need, all the data you need to prospect intelligently, so you'll get owners' details, etc. So yeah, from property reports to streets and suburb trends, street reports, suburb trends, town reports. It gives you a lot of deep insights into an area and into properties very, very quickly. Also nice about Lightstone, it actually offers very good imagery, as I've mentioned there, and mapping tools, and then of course owner information. Right, we all need the owner's information especially if you're doing cold calling and cold contacting. So you can pull up reports within seconds, and then you can use them for your CMAs, or then for farming purposes for lead generation. Okay, but knowing your area through all this type of data is actually vital. So just once again, just to show you on Okta, there you go, you've got your Lightstone. Remember, all these subscriptions here are included for us at EXP at a very small monthly fee. So you just click on Lightstone and you're in. So I'm not going to concentrate on that too much. Of course, next, once you've got the Lightstone people, and maybe you had gone and sourced the owner of a property there and got his name and ID number, etc. The next thing is you need to find owner's contact details if you want to contact them. So this is one of the most frustrating parts of prospecting very often, is to actually find accurate and up-to-date contact details for people. So let's look at the tool that we use that solves this instantly. Just remember, I mean, accurate owner data is the difference often between wasting time and actually generating proper opportunities for your business. Okay, so we use the virtual agent, again on our Okta, simple click and you're in. Let's just first talk about that. So the virtual agent gives you very accurate and very up-to-date, the most up-to-date I've seen, owner information in seconds, okay? So it's one of the fastest ways to get hold of an owner. So you, for instance, from Lightstone, you can get the ID number, and in a virtual agent, you can then use that ID number to get contact details. Of course, on all of this, remember to remain POPI compliant and to get people's permission on the first call, etc., etc. Okay, another topic again. So you can put accurate contact details here, and you can get, okay, that's basically it. So it's become an essential part of our daily prospecting. I even use this virtual agent in many other ways. Somebody contacts me. This is actually, okay, if somebody actually wants to go and view a property, I always check on the virtual agent. I go and check this guy. Well, no, not in this case. If they say they want to sell the property, then I go and look at the property, make sure it's the correct owner. This is again another topic. Then I go to the virtual agent, see if the number correlates to the number he's spoken to me from. But that's a different topic. I'm going off topic here, and we're going to be sitting here forever. Okay, but anyway, this saves us hours, and it increases the quality, I mean, of our business immensely. This is just a quick screenshot of what the virtual agent looks like. So it's that's just the dashboard. We're not going to go into that. You would use the ID number. You can also search on company details, etc., and then get the directors, and then you can search for the directors' contact details, and so on and so forth. Okay. Oh, okay. And there, sorry. Yeah. So we included in our subscriptions at EXP, included in every agent gets 60 daily credits. So you can actually look up 60 people's contact details every single day, all included in our normal EXP package. Right. Now, what's next? Once you've got the numbers, now you've got the leads. What happens now? That too many agents actually, let's say, lose business, mainly because their contact management is not organized. Okay, so how do you actually, your client management and so on. So follow-ups will get missed. Reminders that you should be having somewhere, but then maybe just jotted down somewhere. They slip through the cracks, and many opportunities are often lost. So a modern real estate agent obviously needs a proper CRM, not just spreadsheets and scattered notes, and not an old, outdated CRM. So let's look at what we actually use, and that ties everything together for us as far as lead generation goes. So we use PropCon. It's a very well-known South African system, and we've just transitioned. EXP has transitioned many parts of our business through PropCon now, and they've built out extra systems specifically for EXP agents and so on and so forth. But PropCon is very much the backbone of our business in many ways. It's actually, we're going to be looking at the CRM part right now, but it's actually our CRM, customer relationship management system. But it's also our listing system where we list our properties. We'll look at that later. And it's also our deal tracking system where we load our transactions and report our transactions to the EXP support staff. Okay, but we're going to be looking at the CRM part. So this is the system that really helps us to stay organized and consistent and keep contact with people and stay top of mind. Because a strong CRM is definitely, as I've mentioned, it's probably the single biggest tool most agents need is a good CRM. And then of course, you just got to actually make use of it. Right, again, within our Okta dashboard, you just click and you go straight into PropCon. I've got one or two screenshots. This is just to show you pretty much how the PropCon dashboard looks like. There's all sorts of things there. I'm going to go into that right now. And then you'll see on the left, there's a menu. So you can go into contacts or listings or deal tracking or whatever. There's a lot more. I'm not going to look at all that right now. Now, once you've got PropCon, now you've got a CRM. But now what do you do with it? So let's firstly look at how do you build a database. You need a database within your CRM so that you can start intelligently working that database. Now, PropCon makes it very easy for you to build your database. So whether you're actually feeding in contacts one by one or manually, that is in other words, or in bulk, it's very, very easy. I'm going to touch on this a bit, but then also automatically, right? So the portals, so Property 24, et cetera, when you now get, because all our systems are now sort of under one umbrella with PropCon. So you're doing your listings on PropCon, we'll show you that later. You get inquiries, obviously, to your email as normal from Property 24, say, but that also automatically feeds into your PropCon database, so it's sitting there. And the power of that is immense, and it actually immediately creates the wish list to that, which will match him to future property that you list and so on. But nevertheless, so the portals feed these buyer inquiries straight into the CRM. You still get it on email, okay, but without any extra work from you. Then, as I said, if you want to bulk import your previous contacts, very easy using spreadsheets, or of course, just add individual contacts one by one. It takes only a few clicks. Now, once the database is set up, now nurturing those leads becomes effortless with PropCon. So it's very important to know a strong database is really the foundation of our long-term success. I can not talk enough about this, okay? Staying top of mind with your database through a good CRM is just absolutely vital in our businesses today. Right, so to speak about PropCon a bit, especially the CRM part, right, which is what we're talking about now. PropCon was built by South Africans for SA agents. We actually know Leandro and just coincidentally, and Lawrence very, very well. Leandro was actually an agent with us in Durbanville, I think in the early 2000s. Anyway, so it was built by South Africans, specifically for the South African market. So in PropCon, you've got centralized contacts and notes and reminders for people and tasks and communication tools all in one place. You can do bulk messaging and emails, smart tagging of contacts. You tag them so that you can access groups later on. And then, okay, too much to mention almost, but this keeps you organized and strengthens every client relationship. Now, of course, it all sounds very complicated, but there's always training available on all of this. Okay, so it's not complicated. But anyway, this is the simplest way to become the agent who never forgets, if you want to put it that way. So you never forget anything. You're never going to forget something about a client as long as you set up your database correctly. So now that we actually have these leads and everything, generating leads, that's only half the job. Converting them is what we've been talking about. That's where the real value lies, right? So to convert effectively, you need world-class exposure and professional marketing tools. This is where we move from lead generation, where we were now, and into listing and marketing tools to make sure we get the maximum exposure that is available to agents. So let's look at how we deliver exposure that sellers really care about. And sellers are starting to expect a lot from us. They want to know, where is my property going to be seen? Are you just putting it on a portal and forgetting about it? Or what's the exposure we're getting? So when you're busy with a listing appointment or a listing presentation, very often your marketing section can be your biggest differentiator when you're speaking to sellers to set you apart from the other agents. So that brings us now to section 2. Right, section 2, listing, marketing, compliance, collaboration. So we're going to move on to this section now, which is Very important. This is where agents can separate themselves, as I've mentioned, massively from the competition. Professional systems and that give you world-class exposure, and then strong processes. These are the things that are going to give you a powerful edge, all the right systems and technology combined. So let's look at how you can elevate your listings, and in other words, your service to your sellers. Moving on. So in today's day and age, sellers expect much more than just good photos. They don't want to just say, oh, this is very pretty. They actually expect a full marketing strategy, and every agent is pitching their marketing strategy, and yours has got to stand out. They expect maximum exposure, right? Not only locally, also internationally, because the world is becoming small. People are moving around. If you can deliver all this effortlessly, then you're just going to stand out. You will instantly stand out from other agents. So let me show you now how we do this, and with the tools that we have. I think you'll find this very, very interesting. There's a whole lot of it. Right. So I've got this up again, PropCon, because as I said, PropCon is our listing system. So we'll start off there. So again, from your Octa, you simply go into PropCon, you go into the listing section, and now you create listings. So this is an example of a listing. I'm just running through this. Very, very easy. When you set it up, the overview will just give you what's been happening with the listing once it's been up. Obviously, when you create the listing, all this will be empty. So it'll tell you what views you've had, etc., etc. The info section is just where you put in all the information of the property. Very easy to list. What's the bedrooms and bathrooms, all the features, listing description, and so on and so forth. You add your YouTube link if you've got a video for the property. Very, very handy is this prop bot. So when you're writing your listing description, you can immediately just click the button of the prop bot and ask it to improve it for you firstly, or you can actually ask it to write a description for you based on all the features you've already put in, and so on and so forth. And then you can refine it. So it's pretty much ChatGPT built into our listing system. In the gallery, of course, and here you can drag and drop your photos, upload them, and change the order. And then the drive portion there. So for every single property has its own drive where you can upload documents. So that's great. So obviously we upload our mandates and things, and then they're all there safely kept for that specific property. And also later on, obviously, our compliance team in EXP at the support staff and so on can easily, when you go and see that everything is legal and above board, and that the property condition reports are correct, etc. Okay. You also, once you've loaded a listing, it'll give you a listing quality score, which is great. So if it's green, it's good. You can always click on the little arrow to see what you could improve, but green is good. Red will, for instance, here it says I need photo gallery captions. I would click on there. It'll tell me what I can do to improve the listing score. Okay, so this is great to make sure that you rank better on the internet and on the portals. Right, but now, just one thing to remember. I mean, local exposure, I've mentioned this. Local exposure is good, but global exposure becomes a game changer. And as I said, the world is really getting small. People are moving around. So if you've got proper global exposure above the normal local exposure, then you're in business. Buyers today, they search internationally, especially in the luxury markets, but not only in the luxury markets. So when you can tell a seller that their property will be visible worldwide, and you can actually show him practically exactly where it will be shown, this again is a major differentiator. I got that right. Differentiator in listing presentations. Okay. We've really had many, many buyers from abroad inquiring purely off these international systems. So let's have a bit of a look at that. Some of the systems we use just quickly, and we'll have a bit of a look at what they look like. So firstly, you've got ProperStar. ProperStar, basically your listings are syndicated into multiple countries. It's almost 40 countries. Okay, in their language. I'll tell you a bit about that now. It gets translated into every country's language. Those people can contact you. When they contact you in their language, but you can see it in English. You can respond in English and they'll see it in German or whatever. Anyway, then also the James edition, which is probably the benchmark of luxury portals internationally. So all these, there's a lot more I'm going to show you as well, actually. But these platforms bring serious reach and credibility to your marketing, and your sellers start taking you seriously when you can show them these things. Okay, so it'll set you apart instantly from many of the old-fashioned agents. Okay, so back into PropCon. Once you've listed the property, then you've got, this is called the syndication phase. So you're happy with your listing, everything's good, then you decide where you want it to feed through. So obviously you would choose EXP South Africa. You just tick the box. Yes, it must feed through to EXP South Africa. Yes, it must feed through to Property 24. It all happens instantly. Private property, etc. Flow, I'm going to look at flow marketing just now. That's paid marketing made easy, paid social media marketing. It feeds it through to there so long as well. And when you log into your flow system, you can access your listings there. The James Edition, as I said, is a luxury listing platform, very well known. So you can feed it to feed through to there, but it will only actually feed through if it's priced 10 million and above. That's the sort of bottom line. So all properties 10 million and above. ProperStar I mentioned, which is through to about 40 countries. And Green Acres is the latest one we're actually syndicating through to, which is also another international portal. So ProperStar, really, this is one of the largest international networks. All your listings feed through to there automatically, unless, of course, you chose not to. You'll see all your listings exactly. You can actually log into ProperStar, log into your ProperStar dashboard, where you can actually see all your listings. You can, I've got a video, see? So there's all your listings. I'm clicking on that listing. Once you're in the listing, you see what it looks like. There it says it's going through to 36 countries at this stage. You can even click there and see exactly where it is. So these things you can show your seller. This is where your listing is going to be going, etc. Now, if I go there to translations, then you're going to see this specific listings translations. So there's the original English that I fed through. But the nice thing is now you can actually see all the languages, and you can go and even click on them and go see what it looks like. Right, what am I clicking on here? Oh, clicking on German. Okay, I chose German. Then you can see exactly what it looks like in German. So this is what a German will see in Germany on the portal there, if he's looking for property in South Africa. And then you'll see when you click over there, this is where you access, if anybody inquires about your properties, then you will see all your messages over here, but you will also get notifications about them, obviously. And again, as I said, you seeing them in English, but the original message was actually in a different language that guy typed. Then I'm clicking on one. You see, hello, I'm interested in this property, but you'll see at the top, the translation is from Dutch. So if I turn the translation off, it actually shows me what this guy actually asked. Ik ben geïnteresseerd in deze woning. Okay, but because it's turned on, I can actually see what he was telling me, even if he's speaking in Japanese. Right, very, very impressive, definitely, I know. Anyway, so you could actually, these you can use in your listing presentations as well, just to show people and your sellers what you are offering. Okay, moving on. James Edition I told you about. So this is the world luxury marketplace. It is very, very well known, and very few agencies actually spend the money on marketing here, but any listing of yours above 10 million, you can choose to feed through. No extra cost to you. Right, this is something I'm very excited about. This is being launched in the last, I think, 3 weeks ago. It's called Live. So Live is EXP's own global portal. Okay, it's our own global property platform. As you know, EXP is in almost 30 countries, I think, right now. So you've got agents worldwide with who you can collaborate. And remember, it's a single office agency. It's not franchises that are competing against each other. We all work together. Anyway, so Live is our own global property platform across, as I say, 30 countries. And remember, the goal here with EXP, there's 90,000 agents now in 30 countries. And the goal, and they're going to reach it because of all the perks they offer agents. The goal is something like 1 million agents in 50 countries by, I can't remember, in about 3 or 4 years from now. Anyway, so on this, buyers can browse properties worldwide in one place. So there's no more jumping between websites. Sellers obviously benefit from international visibility and cross-border collaboration between agents. So this really is the future of real estate, and all in one company. It's borderless, right? So this is going to keep expanding, as I said, towards probably 50 countries in a few years' time. This is just a screenshot, just a bit of just to show you, this is what Live looks like. If you go in there, it's live.com. It's called live.com, and the tag is the world listed. So the interface is nice and modern, user-friendly, just like any portal should be. And it's designed for global searches. So people can search in any country, and it's going to put your listing in front of a much bigger audience instantly. It's really a powerful value add, all within EXP, for any listing presentation. And the speed of the platform makes it ideal as well for international clients browsing on mobile, etc. So there, this is just drawing up a map view. So here you'll see all the countries that EXP is listed in. Okay, the Americas split up. So there's 60,000 listings. There's another 11,000. But anyway, all the countries in South Africa, we've got 12,000 listings right now. So buyers can go and search now in any single country. But what's also nice about this, they can switch countries or cities with one click, right, the buyers. So it opens up your listings to clients far beyond your immediate area. And I mean, it's a modern platform. But what I wanted to say is what really, so this is again differentiates you from other agents when you're doing listing presentations. But what's also nice now is I, as an EXP agent, if I've got someone relocating somewhere, I can just go into this country, go and search in that area, see what listings EXP has available. I can start collaborating with the agents there and actually do business with them, and also find a good agent in that way, in that country, a good EXP agent. Okay. So we're very, very excited about this that EXP has brought out. It's almost starting to eliminate the need for portals into the future, where it's just going to be these hundreds of thousands of EXP agents with all their listings worldwide. Okay. Now, every agent needs a strong personal brand and a professional online presence, right? You don't want to just be known as an agent with XYZ properties. I mean, you really need to build a strong personal brand. You have to. Okay, it's a relationship game, property. We know that. Your personal relationships are everything. Okay, if you're relying on brands to bring you business, that's probably a big warning sign for you, I would say. So yeah, every agent needs a strong personal brand and a professional online presence. Okay, don't just rely on, you are just one of the agents on a company website. Clients want to see who you are and what you offer as a person, okay, and why they should trust you. So your online profile, how can I say? Your online profile this is your first impression. As I've often said, you know, when you going to do valuation and then you're doing listing presentations, there might be 5 agents there. They're all doing valuations and listing presentations, and all things being equal, apart from the fact that I've shown you, you can differentiate yourself in many ways with our global exposure, etc. But apart from that, if all things were equal, then afterwards the seller's going to go and decide which agent to use. And they're going to stalk you online. That's what's going to happen. They're going to stalk you and they're going to see who's who. And it's one thing to find all 5 on their company's website, very impressive, very nice, but who are these people really? And if they can find you and you've got your own individual presence on the internet, and it really tells them about you, that's your first proper impression. And this can often be your first impression long before you speak to a client as well. So this is why having your own branded microsite is such a powerful tool. This we're going to look at now. Another big advantage for our agents. Because your marketing should be able to work for you 24/7, right? Even while you sleep. But for you as a personal brand as well. So I'm going to show you what EXP's microsites. Each agent can create his own little website. Again, over here on Okta, you simply click in there. Sorry about this. Then you will be able to set up your very, very own microsite. This is what is going to allow clients to browse your listings and get to know you instantly. It includes a digital business card that's always up to date and easy to share with people, so you can share it and you just look very, very professional. Buyers can follow your listings on your website. Sellers can see exactly what your marketing presence looks like and what your properties marketing looks like, etc. It's going to help you stand out in a crowded market, but it's also going to give you exposure on the internet to be found in your market. So it's really one of the easiest tools to use, you're going to see, but it's very, very powerful. So this is basically, see, I've got a video here. I mean, this is, you simply, if you look at the internet, at the website link right at the top, every agent microsite will start with me.expsouthafrica.co.za. Then it'll be a / and then whatever his tag is. So you will choose whatever you want to be. Luckily, like when I created Lydia's, she was the first Lydia, so she gets a nice clean Lydia one without a surname or anything. So you can now simply send this link to people. In the admin section, you log in and you actually set up all this. You can change images and you change the wordings and things like that. But this is pretty much what it looks like. I just got a quick video. It just gives you a bit of a scroll down so you can see how professional your own website can look. You can create this within minutes. I'm just scrolling down. There you'll see all your listings. People can search, obviously, by city, etc. A little bit of an about us, tell you about yourself. And got your social links down the bottom there, links to your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. Contact form. A bit more of another about us section. Obviously, those listings, they click on them, they can contact you, they see everything about the listing. This is more of an about us page. And then you can even create your own blog. So you can create articles and things and, you know, a proper, just to look professional. So I've put all our previous things in here. This is also a very new feature, this microsites. So I've got all these articles and videos that I've created through the years to educate our sellers. I mean, so I've put them in there. So again, you can have a full-on blog, information, frequently asked questions. It just makes you look very, 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 very professional. Articles about your area and why people should live there. Well, I mean, the opportunities are endless. Right. Here we go. Just back on this. Sorry. I'm just seeing, okay, the video is finished. But yeah, so this was just an example of what it can look like. As I said, you can chop and change it. Just think, I mean, yeah, you can. So you just take that link and you can share it. You can put it on even on your WhatsApp business profile, so people can always go there. Everybody is seeing you, just has a quick look at who you are, and you look professional, and they know you're a real estate agent, and they're going to look you. So this is your brand outside. Okay, this is making yourself stand out from just another agent within another company. Okay. Now what you're going to see here, right? So portals. I mean, we've looked. So you've got all the local portals you want to advertise on. That's very, very important. Right. All the property 24s, your company website, private property, all the global websites. That's great. But they're important, but they're still not enough on their own for you to stand out in a crowded market, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so they are valuable, but they can only reach people who are actively searching right now for a start. Right? So who's going to see your property on a portal? Somebody who goes onto the portal and searches for a property in that area at a specific price range. The portals don't reach future buyers. They also don't reach current buyers who are just not looking today. They don't reach necessarily relocation buyers, etc., or people outside your area. So paid social media ads is what will give you a far wider reach, okay, and much more targeted exposure, really targeting people that are interested in property that might just not be looking in your exact area at this specific time. Okay, so using both the portals as well as paid ads is going to give you a very, very good, strong combination. We've been using paid ads for many, 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 many years, okay, long before the system I'm going to show you now that makes it so much easier. So I'm used to doing Facebook ads in the back, and we sell at least half our properties. They're all on the portals, and half our properties we sell of our paid Facebook and Instagram marketing. Okay, because there's a reason, because the portals have a very limited audience who will have to be looking at that specifically. And through this, you reach a much wider audience who would possibly buy that property. Okay. So why does it really beat the portals? I've actually touched on this quite a bit. Sorry, just to first mention what's actually on this slide is social media, your paid ads. What I'm talking about really is Meta. So Meta is a company that actually owns Facebook and Instagram. They also accidentally own WhatsApp. Okay, so when you go and do paid Meta ads, you can then from there feed them through to Facebook or Instagram. Okay. And you're not going to be waiting for buyers to come to you, etc. You're going to be proactively reaching them, because as people are scrolling, you know that's the sponsored ad that they're going to see, right? So it's going to bring in sort of warmer and higher quality inquiries, a lot of them. Right. But the question is, you've got to do it correctly, but we've got a system that makes it easier. Okay. So why do paid social often beat portals? Like I said, half of our properties are sold off our paid social media ads, at least half. As I said, portals only reach people actively looking for property today. They have to go onto that portal. They have to search. If your property is in a suburb called Soornstraal Heights, they have to search in Soornstraal Heights to see your property. Otherwise, they won't see it. And then they might even be searching a price range. It might just be outside your property's price, so they won't see it. Okay. Paid social media can reach people who are will be buying in the next few months, because it comes up and it's in their heads already they want to buy, but now it flashes right in front of them on their Facebook. So even before they start searching, you could capture their attention. That's happened a lot for us. You easily target people who might be fixed on an area next door to your suburb, even because they don't even really know that your suburb exists until you flash it at them, and things like that. So there's a lot of ifs and buts, but it's going to give you a much bigger and more strategic audience than just the portals can. It's definitely one of the most underrated marketing advantages, you can almost say, that agents could make use of. Okay, the thing is, now I can show you my back end of the business part of Facebook and the ads manager and so on, where I've been creating ads for many, many years. It's very, very technical to not waste your money. So you can easily choose areas and things like that and age groups, but then you've got to choose people, because you're going to be paying for it, for Facebook to show it to a certain amount of people, depending what your budget is. You want to make sure it's the right people. It mustn't just be people who are in the area you chose, because then you might be wasting your money just showing it to people who definitely will not be buying property. So you need to demographically target and with interest and things. Remember, Facebook tracks all your online behavior. I mean, we all know that, right? So if you go and search for a BMW car now, and then you go to Facebook, what do you see? Suddenly you see BMWs coming up all the time, all these sponsored ads. Now that's the point. So Facebook, you have to find the right interests if you're doing it yourself to make sure the right people. So you just have to look at who is interested in property related things. Who's busy looking at bonds? Who's busy looking at removal companies? Who's actually searching for property on portals? Who's looking at new schools? Things like that. Those are the type of things you would need to target, and it becomes very technical and difficult actually within Facebook. Okay, but now we've got a system called flow marketing that solves this problem, and it makes it just much easier, because the guys at Flow, they take care of that technical part of thing. They are masters at it to make sure your property gets shown to the right person. Okay. So again, from our Okta dashboard, you simply click and you will go straight into your Flow system. Now you must remember, I showed you previously when we were listing the property and syndicating it to all the portals, there was a button you could click. If you click that, it just also fed it through to your Flow system. So if you want to advertise that listing, you simply go into Flow and it'll be sitting there waiting for you to create the ad. So the main thing is Flow creates high quality. You're going to see high quality targeted ads for all your listings without having to have the technical knowledge to do it. It plugs directly into PropCon, as I've shown you. So your listing details will pull through immediately and automatically there. All your photos, everything will be sitting in the Flow system waiting for you. And then it helps you to target people that are actually showing property-related behavior and interest, so that you're targeting the right people who are likely to respond to your ads as they start showing on Facebook. So this will give you consistent and higher quality leads with far less effort than you think. Okay. But the system is designed to help agents produce professional ads fast and easily without the technical know-how. So I'm just going to go through a few of this is just Flow different types of ads. I'm not going to look at that. Within the setup, what you would choose is you would choose areas. You can choose multiple areas. So that means you're going to be targeting people in those areas, or who are in those areas, or who were in those areas, or who are showing interest in those areas. So let's just say you have a property in Sea Point. The portals are going to rely on somebody who's going to search in Sea Point. If he's not searching in Sea Point, he's not going to see your property. So what we do, for instance, is we go and target other coastal areas like Blouberg. I mean, somebody might have always gone to Blouberg for their holidays, and they immediately think they will be searching for property in Blouberg. Now I target that area the clever system is going to pick up that person and flash, when he's on Facebook, flash you your C point. And of course, he's looking for a coastal property or whatever, he will then say, oh, well, great. I mean, I wasn't looking in C point, but let's have a look how nice this looks. And he goes and looks and he buys the property. So you can target different areas. Think of suburbs where you live as well. You might have a property in a certain suburb. Somebody is relocating to there. He's looking in a different suburb because his friend lives there and he doesn't really know the area. Now you choose those different geographical locations, and then that person will also see your property. Okay, actually, I can ramble on forever, and I might not even be that clear. But anyway, the system makes it very easy for you. On the left, you'll see what the ad is going to look like eventually on someone's Facebook. You should all recognize that. It's quite pretty much a sponsored ad looks like that. As you browsing, every now and then you get a sponsored ad. But on the right, you can tweak it. Okay, so you tweak it. At the bottom here, you choose which property, which is, as I said, already fed through to Flow. They say, yes, here are all my properties. I want to choose that one. Once you've got the property, you can choose which image you want to use, etc. You can change a lot of the wording on the ad and what it's going to look like to suit you. And then eventually, there's what the ad looks like when the guys, when people are browsing their Facebook or Instagram. And what's nice is once people see your ad, now, I mean, this is just the one picture, you know that. It's just the one picture with a short description. You don't want them to necessarily contact you of that, and then you find out, oh, he's actually a tenant, and you get a lot of time wasters, okay, because they don't really see exactly what the property offers. So what's very nice is actually when people see this, when they click on the Contact Us button, they don't actually contact you yet. They go back, they get fed back to the Flow system to a complete landing page. I mean, this you should actually scroll down now. So it's got all the photos. If you click View Gallery, it's a landing page. It's like a portal. So it's got all that. It's got the full description, everything. Then once he's seen that, then he says, yes, please, I want to contact the agent. So you're starting to get much warmer and qualified leads off of this. Then, of course, there's a lot of stats. So anytime you can go and follow how your ads are doing and what's happening, and should you maybe tweak something in them because they're not getting good results, etc. And the Flow people are always available to help you as well. Right. And very exciting, actually. Coming soon specifically for EXP agents. So Flow up to now has concentrated on helping people place paid online ads on Facebook and Instagram. But coming soon, they're busy setting up a section for EXP agents, which is also going to help you with Google Ads. So they're adding a Google Ads integration, which is a massive step forward. Google Ads is extremely technical. You've got to have keywords, and you've got to have negative keywords and phrases, and it's very, very technical to try and target the right people. But soon you'll be able to run your Google search campaigns directly through them, and they're going to make it much easier, but they use their expertise to make sure that they're targeting the right people. So this is also going to expand our marketing reach, even beyond the social media reach and the portals. Another powerful tool that's at your fingertips, and we at EXP are really looking forward to this. Okay. Now, it's one thing having all the portals, having all the social media, all that type of thing, but great marketing also needs great design. Okay, marketing only works if the design looks good and professional and trustworthy. But most agents, obviously, they don't have the time themselves or the design skills to create necessarily good marketing material. That's why you get tools like Canva Pro, which is incredibly valuable. And tools like Canva will let you produce high quality marketing material in minutes. Right? Quick learning curve, and then you've got it. Canva, for me, is the benchmark of graphic design, you can almost say, in the world, definitely, and always looking at the next thing. But good design instantly elevates your brand, right? No matter what, anything that you put out there, if the design's good, you look professional, people pay attention. So again, from your Okta, all EXP agents worldwide have a Canva Pro account included. So that's the full Canva account. You can access everything on Canva. If you've ever used Canva, you know you get all millions of templates for anything you can think of, and they've got a little crown in them, many of them, or something. I think it's a crown, but that's only for the pro users. So the other people can use one or two templates, but there's millions of templates that pro users. Anyway, you get that. So you just click on there and you're in your Canva. So Canva, this really takes things a step further. you get access to so much. You also get access to many EXP branded templates, which I'm going to show you. So you've got the full Canva Pro with millions of templates in that you can use and customize, but you've also got an EXP section because EXP is one of the largest enterprise accounts at Canva. So it really helps you create almost anything: presentations, flyers, banners, newsletters, even your boards, did I say business cards? Anyway, anything you can think of, you can create in there very, very easily. And then it really lets you look polished, without needing a designer, with everything you put out on social media or wherever. So this is really one of the highest value tools that I believe is included in our whole ecosystem. Canva's AI Magic Studio, apart from all the templates you can create, they're always bringing in new AI and magic stuff, right? So this really just adds AI power to your design workflow, you can almost say. I mean, within here, you can remove backgrounds, you can remove objects, you can replace objects, you can grab an object out of one image and put it in another one, clean up images. You can just generate so many visuals instantly. Okay, it turns complicated design tasks into simple one-click actions. I mean, right now in the Canva AI these days, you can just prompt it like you would prompt ChatGPT. You can just prompt it to create something for you. So you tell it what you want, and then it creates it, and then you can refine it, etc. So the AI is also magic, and this, as I said, will give you professional results without needing actual professional skills or without having to pay people thousands of rands to do it for you. As I said, what's also nice is within all the millions of templates, there's an extra section. It's called the EXP, the brand section. There, firstly, you can access all your logos. So even if you're using any of the other templates you found millions on Canva, if you find one you like, you just go to the brand section and grab the logo and drag it in. You can drag your photo in, etc. But there are many, many branded things already and templates that make it easy for you to create a lot of types of designs with already branded EXP correctly. So here's just a couple. I mean, seller's guides. Seller tips you can put on social media, your for sale posts, business cards, for sale boards, newsletters, just sold, all sorts of, there's millions. But the main thing is you can see it's already branded for you, so that makes it even easier for you. All right. Now we're moving on again. So now we get to the transaction part, right? So you have now generated leads, you've nurtured your leads, you started converting them into business and listings, you've marketed your listings, you've put them on all the local portals, all the international portals, you've given them extra exposure on EXP's international live portal, you have put them out on social media with paid ads, you've done all of this and you've created graphics galore and you look extremely professional. Now hopefully you're starting to convert this into money, right? Transactions. Now let's look at this section. So what a real estate transaction has multiple stages. We all know that. Multiple stages, various parties and deadlines and so on. Now, if you don't have a solid system, then things can easily fall apart here and fall through the cracks again. So that's why being able to track your deals properly is absolutely essential. Okay. So as I said, we use PropCon for this as well. So let me show you now how PropCon solves this. Okay, because good deal tracking just really, it protects your commission and your client relationships all over. I mean, just makes you look professional and you know things are on track and everything's working. Right, so as I said, we use PropCon for this as well. It gives you a structured visual dashboard for all your deals. You can track milestones, you can link parties, you can upload documents into the drive exactly as you did with a listing. You've also got, for that transaction, you've got a drive, so you upload all the OTPs and things in there nicely in one place. It helps you stay organized from the offer time right through to registration, and it just reduces stress, right? It keeps your clients informed. If you want, you can add them as well, and so on and so forth. So a clear deal workflow builds trust with your buyers and your sellers and your attorneys, and then also keeps the EXP staff, financial staff, informed all the way of what's happening, and it gives you peace of mind that you're on top of everything. So again, you access PropCon. On the menu, in this case, you wouldn't be going to contacts, you wouldn't be going to listings, you'll be going to deal tracking. So yeah, you would capture a deal. So you just start and capture a new deal. I know what I've got next here. And then basically this is what it looks like. Again, you've got a dashboard and it will tell you where you are with the deal, etc. But basically you just on those top tabs, just like with the listings, this has also got all the menus on top, and you're just going to be going through there and adding whatever you need. And then once you're done, once you've captured everything in here on the drive and everything, there's a little green button and you know everything's in place and your figure's in place and everything. Then you notify the EXP South Africa transaction team so that they're aware of the offer and of the sale, and they can start checking whether everything's in place so that there's no delay later on when you want your commission to be paid to you. All right. Now, another part of transactions is compliance. These days, FICA compliance is becoming something next level, and fines are being dealt out for things that agents didn't even know they have to do. Okay. Now, compliance, it's one of the biggest stress points for South African agents. And if it's not a stress point for you, then you're probably not aware of the consequences of not being compliant. The law is really, really strict. And one mistake can lead to huge penalties or even worse. Okay. But with the right tools, compliance actually becomes simple and safe. There's always going to be things you've got to do. You can't get away from that. But having the right tools, you're going to know whether you are being compliant or not. So let's look at how FICA is handled when it's handled correctly. Okay. And remember, this is about protecting yourself as much as it is about protecting your clients and as much as it is about protecting your company as well. Sorry. So you need a system that helps you make sure you are compliant. So our FICA system in our Okta, you're going to see, integrates through Okta with an external system that these guys, they basically handle FICA on behalf of many financial institutions and in the financial industry, like your insurance people also have strict, and they'll handle it for agents, all at a fee, of course. But obviously, this is included for EXP agents, all covered. So it's a system is called Encino. It used to be known as DocFox. So we have instant integration into Encino. So here, either you can upload the client's FICA documents and complete all the information yourself. I sometimes prefer to do that, but you can also send clients an invitation and then they will be invited on email and they can upload their documents securely themselves, so that sometimes they're happy with that because they don't want their documents flying around. And then you just log into Encino to see whether it's all done correctly. Anyway, but it's a system that offers you automated screenings. So it will check, remember there's one thing, it's one thing to check the ID and check the proof of address. Now, Encino does that for you. Checks the ID firstly, whether it's an acceptable copy. Secondly, it goes to the Department of Home Affairs systems, make sure that that ID number actually correlates to the name. Just one basic check. It'll check if the proof of address is acceptable. But then what you as an agent need to do, and this is where most of the fines are being issued at the moment, is you are supposed to check every single client against a predefined set of lists. You're talking about UN sanctions lists from the United Nations, terrorist lists, if you want to call it. You're talking internally in South Africa about people of important lists and things like that. You're supposed to be checking these people, and you must immediately flag things or it must be made known that this person is like that, so it makes you look twice, just to make sure that the money is coming from the right places, etc. But you're supposed to be screening people against those things, and nobody is doing that necessarily. Or if they are, it's costing them an arm and a leg because to access those systems, etc. Okay, so these automated screenings that within Encino will check against all these lists to check for the fraud risk and sanctions list, etc. So they're doing it at the back end. You will simply be informed once you've loaded all the FICA stuff on and you've created the profile, all the customers, you will then be informed if there's anything wrong. And then you can go and check. It also does media search on Google, sees whether there's anything negative. All these things are things we're supposed to do. So basically, this system makes it easier, but it removes the fear and especially the risk around FICA and being non-compliant, because this is becoming very, very real for us. Okay, so as I said, there you go. You simply log in through your Okta. That's just a bit of a screenshot. It's a profile. I've got Lydia as a profile here. So we set her up. Let's say she was my seller, and I've set it up. You scroll down, all the information is there. Here on the left, you will see, you would upload identity documents, you'd upload the address. Yeah, watch list hits and media search. That is where you could go and click and see whether Encino, once they've been screening all those lists that they can access, whether anything has popped up for your specific client. And then you just do the risk rating as you also do, which is completing a form. This is now great. And now once you've got a profile there, you've loaded your transaction, as I said, you've notified the transaction team at EXP. They simply go to the transaction part of things on PropCon. They check whether all your documentation is in order. Then they go to Encino, make sure a correct FICA profile has been approved by Encino, and they're happy. Then they will be able to issue the invoices to the attorneys for your transaction, and you will be able to be paid. Okay, but making our life a lot easier. Right, let's look at something different. Okay, so very often sellers or even agents, often, right? Bridging finance. Anybody know the word bridging finance? But sellers as well. Sellers and agents often need access to funds before transfer takes place. So a deal is final, but it's only going to be registering in 2 months, and maybe they need access to their funds for certain regions. It's common for sellers to need funds. They might need it for COCs. They might need it for moving costs to the next place. They might need funds because they need to put a deposit down on the next place. They might need funds for the transfer costs and the transfer duty and all that they need to pay for the next place that they're buying. They might even have agreed in the OTP to fix the roof, but now they haven't got money or whatever. So sellers can need money up front, and as do agents. Sometimes we all reach a tight spot now and then, and maybe you've got a 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. That's all. The deal is final. Anyway, so now, do we have a tool that makes this very easy? Paperless, right? A simple paperless bridging solution. Let's look at this. Right, so what we use is a system called Snapit. It's all digital, so there's no paperwork, but we simply put it through. But the main thing is, so it provides fast and paperless bridging finance, and it provides it for sellers or agents. Okay, so sellers can then access their funds for whatever they need, as I've mentioned. Agents can unlock a portion of their commission if you're in dire need of money urgently before the transaction actually registers. And what you're going to see is it's quick, it's easy to use, it's completely digital, and it just helps keep things on track, and it just makes things easy. Okay, but what's very nice to know is you will see there's a referral fee for EXP agents. So if your seller needs bridging finance, you will simply refer them to Snapit. If they use Snapit for their bridging finance, then you will actually get a referral fee for that as well. Okay, again, you just simply log into Snapit from your Okta, takes you straight into the system, and there you can choose seller snaps. If a seller just wants something, solar snaps. These days, it's a new product they've got. If people want to put up solar, renovations they need to do, and then, of course, you have your commission snap for agents where you can access up to 80% of your commission. Okay, just the digital world. I'm just showing you the tools we have, but this is also a third-party income generator for us. Right, now, you all know this one, all right? Multiple buyers and competing offers. So you often get that listing where you've just got lots of people and they're all interested at the same time. Now, handling multiple buyers like this and competing offers, this can quickly become very messy for agents and very stressful, right? I mean, timing, fairness to all the parties, all the paperwork involved, it often becomes quite a lot to manage, and your time is limited and everybody wants it now, and somebody's flying into England tomorrow and he must see you this evening, but the other guy also needs to see you this evening because whatever. Anyway, so this is where many deals fall apart, actually, or misunderstandings often arise and people are angry at you. So there are times when you need a system that can actually bring order and transparency to this process. That makes your life easier, but it also makes people understand that they are being treated fairly and everybody has an equal chance. So let me show you the modern solution that solves this for us within EXP. We've got what we call an iBid system. It's a digital offer system. I know the name is iBid. It's not only a bidding system, it's a digital offer system. So iBid pretty much removes all the chaos from offers, right? By just streamlining the whole and entire process digitally. Buyers can submit their offers directly into the system. No more paperwork at that stage. In the early stages, so it's fast and it's clean, and it eliminates confusion in multi-offer situations, especially when more than one person wants to make an offer, and nobody gets upset with you. So everything stays organized, transparent, and that's for both buyers and sellers. They know it's transparent, they know it's fair, nobody feels done in. But it also removes a lot of the admin pressure from you as the agent. So let's have a quick look at this. What it is basically, it's a complete documentation hub firstly. So what happens is you just simply set up on the iBid system, you set up a property, which you're now marketing. All the property details are there, the seller details, everything. The buyers will get a link where they can actually enter all their offer details and conditions. So they go into that link, they enter all their things, they get asked the right questions, right? They get asked, how much are you offering? Is it subject to sale? Is it subject to bond? When do you want to occupy? And so on and so forth. They will also actually be shown the offer to purchase, the property condition report, which you will have uploaded previously onto that property. And all these things get sent to them, and then it compiles an offer. So iBid then compiles everything into a clean OTP draft, right? And you also get notified about this. So the buyer can then sign this digitally, but I'm going to go into that a bit carrying on. But the main thing is it transforms offer chaos. That's the big thing. Okay, and it makes it easy for you. You don't have to be in 10 places at once. Or if somebody needs to see you this evening, but you have to really go and watch your child's annual concert. And you know how disappointed they'd be. You cannot see him this evening. What do you do? But this is the solution. Okay, as I said, you have set it up on the iBid system. You've told the iBid system everything about the property. You've uploaded any other documents that you want the buyer to sign as well, such as property condition reports or even complex rules, whatever, so that he also gets that. He would have to sign that as well. He then gets an invitation. So you just, on the system, you say, I want to send this guy an invitation. He says, thanks for your interest. He gets the email. He clicks on there. He puts in all his details, and then it eventually spits out a digital offer. Beautiful, neat, professional, with all the details he's put in. He then has a look at this. So once he's completed all these details, it can now be digitally signed on the system. I know it's not legal when it's digitally signed yet, but at least this is a very good intention. So now you've got a digitally signed offer. It eliminates a lot of your admin. Okay, there's no printing at this stage, no scanning, no running around. It speeds up the entire process. And now both you and the client are experiencing far less stress when dealing with this. Anyway, so now you've got a digitally signed offer and you get informed about it. Now you can discuss that with the seller, obviously. And then if you come to agreement, it's a simple process of let's just now get everybody to sign in writing. And just remember also, you can set this up as a bidding process. You just set it up a little bit differently and you make it valid for a period. So a guy places his bid, but if somebody else comes and places another bid, he gets informed. There's another guy that's put in a bid, and then he goes and ups his bid, and then the previous guy, and then the third guy comes. Everybody keeps getting informed, and you actually, in that way, you can actually raise the price offered quite dramatically in many, many situations if there's actually demand for the property. Okay. And then, of course, okay, so it's all transparent. So as buyers are carrying on, they will be communicated with all this time. They'll be, there we go, thank you for your offer. And it just gets informed the whole time. If there's been an additional offer, they get informed so they could revise their offer if they wanted to. Once the offer process is finished, they get informed whether the offer was successful or not, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, then all you do, once it's all agreed by everybody, just get the wet ink signatures, which are required by the Alienation of Land Act. Oh, I sound so intelligent. And then you're done. Right, beautiful, neat, pre-printed offer with all the necessary details in. Okay, so it'll make sure you get the best price for sellers. Everything is nice and transparent and convenient, and buyers especially know nobody's being pulled, given an advantage above another unfairly or anything like that. So, apart from making your life easier, how does it actually help you to win listings also, right? This iBid is it's a massive, my favorite word today, it's a massive differentiator in listing presentations, okay? Because sellers obviously love transparency. So buyers will stop wasting your time with incomplete or informal offers, or even just that offer that's like R1 million below asking price, and now you've driven 2 hours to go and see the buyer and spent 4 hours listening to him making his offer without being discriminating here, and then it's R1 million below, so you've wasted your time. Okay, so they stop wasting your time with incomplete or low offers or informal offers. OTPs will come out nicely and clean, accurate, properly filled in, and so on, which even the attorneys will appreciate. And it just positions you as a modern, tech-enabled agent who manages office professionally. Again, it just makes you look good. Okay, but even when you're doing your listing presentation, this is a tool you can throw out there. So this is how we can handle it, and it is a huge differentiator. Okay. Now, just some other tools quickly. So agents need fast and organized communication, right? WhatsApp groups, as handy as WhatsApp is, WhatsApp groups can quickly get very messy, and and emails get buried in piles of emails. It's all a real problem, especially when your company wants to communicate with you. So important info will often get lost within these WhatsApp groups and things, and screenshots get forgotten, and follow-ups just slip through the cracks, and so on and so forth. So a proper communication platform is extremely important, and EXP solves this by mainly with two things. They use Slack, which is probably very well known to many of you, or otherwise they've got the EXP Hub, which is a new feature designed by EXP themselves. But anyway, just a quick one. You basically, Slack connects you to all 90,000 agents firstly, but then you will have access to certain groups. Like you can join groups by country or by region. You can even create groups, like little referral groups within your town or something. And you can ask questions, you can communicate with basically anybody, but also, for instance, let's just say in our case, our country leadership has a thing that every single agent belongs to, a Slack channel. So that's where we get informed of important stuff. And it's not a back and forth channel, so we don't communicate there. We just get informed of anything that's important. So we know this is not a messy group. It's a group of pertinent information which gets relayed to us. Okay. Again, very easy. You simply access it from there and you go into your Slack. Was that too quickly? On your Okta, hit Slack and you're in. Okay. Now let's shift from tools and systems to what can also help to set you apart going forward. And that's training and upskilling and more income potential because of that. Okay. So we've now covered all the tools and all the systems. Okay. And then admin systems. Now let's let's move to training and how to grow yourself as an agent continually. So this is obviously, you need something where you can learn faster and perform better. You need to be upskilling yourself the whole time to be able to build a more stable business. Okay. So this section is going to show you why top agents grow quicker in this specific model, especially with what we have available. Okay. So it brings us to section 3. Unrivaled training, AI, virtual offices, multiple income streams, etc. This is the part where you grow as an individual, okay? Steadily and sustainably. You need training, you need AI tools, virtual offices, all these things to be able to work efficiently and to know that you are also providing the best service to your people out there. So you need to create a business environment where you can basically scale without burning out, but always staying up to date. Okay, let me quickly unpack a few things for you about this. So, agents who stay educated and keep up with the latest trends, marketing trends, anything you can think of, they are always going to outperform the other agents who are just stuck back in 1990 or 2000 or 2010 or 2020 or even in 2025. You're still stuck there. Somebody's going to outperform you because they're staying up to date. So the thing here is to know, with lots of franchise type setups, your training is very limited and very localized, and you relying on whoever's there to give you the training on that day. Okay, but now modern training has no boundaries. So you can learn anytime from anywhere and from the best in the world. There's no content, well, there is. So you think about it, there should be training content available, and there is, for every experience level in the industry. Okay, so from a new agent to seasoned producers, high producers, there still should always be training to take them to the next level. Okay, now the question is, do you have access to this type of training or not? Up-to-date knowledge like this is just one of your biggest and competitive advantages to carry you into the future. So we're pretty lucky that we've got all sorts of platforms such as EXP University and all sorts of things like this, right? Training sessions that run live every week, often repeated so no one misses out. EXP University gives you on-demand training with global and local content, okay, on any topic you can imagine. Then top producers in EXP, they're called Icon Agents. It's sort of the top award you can win. They are incentivized financially to teach agents what they know and what's working for them now in the market. That's next level, right? To learn from people who are successful now, what they are using now. Okay, so it's continuous education, and it's designed for you in the real world to go and apply and take you to your next level. Okay, but what you're going to see here, the main thing is you can learn more in a month here than you can probably learn in a year anywhere else. So again, we've got EXP University. On our Okta, you can simply go in there. You can browse through here for hours. I mean, there's training programs on anything. How to cap faster, cap is reaching a certain commission level. AI Accelerator, that's the latest one. It's a series of, I think it's about, there we go. No, that's not. I've been watching that. The first series has been about, you know, I like my AI. So there's been a series, one every week, and I think there's going to be 8 series. We're at number 5 now or something. AI Accelerator, everything you can think of how you take AI and you convert it into your business to just help you be more productive. It's quite mind-blowing. But anyway, anything you can think of, training-wise, you'll find on EXP University. Then you've also got the South African learning paths, which is more than now South African specific. Lots of training available there. You'll see there's different training paths. Each one has a whole lot of mini videos. How to start getting productive, how to then move into capping, which is the next level, etc., etc. Okay, lots of training available there. Then we've got live training every single week. You get notified of the Google Meets. So if you can attend it live, it's nice because then you can also ask interactive questions. Otherwise, it gets recorded, and on EXP South Africa, you'll have the recorded stuff. And then, of course, we often have in-person things, and it's usually agent-led events where we offer lots of training. And just think of my ChatGPT training. Many of our agents in EXP start offering training on what they do well, or hope they do well, but what they do well to other agents to help them. That's the culture we're in. Okay, so there's a lot that's available. Now, we're going to look again. I showed you the EXP offices a little bit earlier. That's the actual offices, right? Now I'm going to show you something different. So our cloud model, obviously, it removes many traditional frustrations, as you'll see there. So we don't deal with traffic. We don't deal with desk fees. You can work from anywhere without sacrificing your support. It's easy. Okay, it brings flexibility into your business, but it still keeps you fully connected. Right? So your office is actually wherever you are. Wherever you choose to be today, you can have your office over there. But now I'm going to show you something of the next level. So we've looked at the offices where you support staff. But each individual EXP agent has the option to create his own office as well within EXP World. So you create your office, then you've just got a link again, exp.world/whatever yours is. I've set up as exp.world/Cape Town. I'm going to show it to you quickly. So every agent gets their own private virtual office inside EXP World. You've got to go and set it up, but it's there for you. So you can host meetings and consultations and presentations right inside your own space if you want to. You can meet clients there. You can meet other agents there. It's fully customizable. You'll see as we go through. This is amazing. You must have a look at this. But yeah, so it's customizable. You can put up screens and documents and videos, and you can create chatbots within there that your clients can talk to if you're not there. It's really a truly modern and a very impressive way to meet with clients. And it's, again, this is a differentiator. Just shows that you're right up there. Just feels like, it almost feels, your office can feel like a professional boardroom that you carry in your pocket, if you want to know. Okay, let's have a quick look. Oops. This is just a screenshot of what it looks like. So you'll see there's all sorts of stuff on the walls. Now, I have now set up this office. There's various templates. I've chosen pretty much a single room one, so it's not easy to get lost. But you can pretty much set up a whole office system. You can set up expo halls. You can do anything. Okay, but this is pretty much what it looks like in the environment I have created. So we can meet clients here. You'll see I can share documents within there. We can go through OTPs. We can walk through listings, even walk into street views. It's amazing. Okay, it feels surprisingly real, and it just really creates a very professional experience. It's, you know, these things sounded so airy-fairy to me at the start, but it's wow. Okay. Anyway, it gives you a space to operate from, even if you don't have a physical office at this stage. Right. So what I'm going to do, I've just done this is just a video, just a quick spin around the office. You'll see what I've put up on mine. I've put up videos and properties and links to our third-party providers, and then you'll see I've got our OTPs up and mandates and everything you can think of. So I can actually take a client in here on a whole journey, right? Whether it's a seller, I can show him what I'm going to be doing for him, and everything, and we can sign the mandate. I can go through the mandate and you can sign. With a buyer, the same thing. You show them everything that can help them with their bonds, with their foreign exchange things through our third-party providers. Anyway, it just depends how you set it up. Here's a quick video. Here's our little chatbot. There, as you see, all sorts of things, videos that I've put up there, videos that I've created, sort of like property frequently asked questions, links to things. There's a screen share thing, so I could actually share anything on there, a whiteboard I can scribble on. There's a little video of us talking. Anything you can think of. There's our documents and links to our other people like DocBox and things. This is the type of thing you can set up and send to people. As a link, they can go and wander around on their own if they don't want to meet you in there. Okay. So as you saw there, you can set it up. There's so much. There's so many AI assets and things you can use within here. It's becoming quite amazing. Right. So like I showed you there, I mean, there you'll see, I mean, whatever. I've got everything in there. Okay. And links to things. And so we can do almost anything in here with clients. What I want to show you here, just to show you again. Am I on a video or am I not? There we go. So let's just say I have met a buyer in here and I showed them a property. Let's just say that one for 4,950. We actually clicked on there and looked at all the photos and the videos and things. And he's sitting in London, right? So I say, well, let me just quickly set up a street view. So I set up a street view within my world. That's just the thing I set up for that address. Now, okay, you'll see here is myself and Lydia, but let's just imagine this was a demo. Let's just imagine Lydia is my buyer. So I say, right, well, let me go and show you, because you're in London, let me go and show you what the area looks like. You like the house, you like everything you saw. So I simply set up that little, it's like a sphere now, and it takes me straight to that property's street view. So there's a little video, click on there, and in we go. Now myself and my client are there, and we can, just like in Google Street View, but now you're actually in your office. We can browse around and go up and down the street, say, oh, this is what the neighbor's house look like. So, I mean, it's not just your house that's nice. It's a nice area with good houses, etc. Giving them peace of mind. And so you can carry on, then quickly trot down the road and show them what the local school looks like. Trot down the road and show them the nearest shopping center, and so on and so forth. And once you're done, click of a button at the bottom and you're just back in the office. Now you can start going through the OTP, right? Explaining the OTP to them so that you can actually do the sale. Next level technology, and this is just also, it's just to show you how one's just got to stay with technology, because other people are lagging behind and other companies are lagging behind, definitely. Within that same world, you've got chat boxes. You can translate into 30 languages. So I can be speaking in English. In my typing in English, I just set up my language as English. My client will set up their language as something else. Then when I type in English, they are seeing it in their language. Then they type in their language and I'll see it in English. That's the typing part. The best part is you can also speak, and it will immediately translate it or transcribe it into text. But I can speak English and I will see it transcribing into English, but then my client will see it transcribing into German or whatever. This was a simple example of it, but obviously I wouldn't know German, so I just made myself English and I made Lydia Afrikaans. And that's what it was basically like. So I was speaking English. This was speaking actually in voice, and it was transcribing mine in English over here. And then there it was transcribing it for her into Afrikaans. And it's very good translations. This is the test. I've done this many times. Okay. Then as you will also have seen in there, I'll set up an automated chatbot. So the technology here is next level. You can just have a general chatbot, which is almost like then your own little chat GPT in there, and it'll just, people can ask it questions and it'll just answer like chat GPT would. But I have this one, you can also train your chatbot. So I've trained my chatbot. So then you can, I've gone and fed it all the South African laws, all the property laws and sectional title laws. Plus I've fed it all my video scripts where I teach sellers about footstots and this and that and all the OTP clauses and mandates. I've uploaded all that into my chatbot, and then I told my chatbot I don't want it to access the general chat GPT. I want it to always answer as though it's me answering. So from my things that I fed in there. And it's great. People go in there, they ask questions, they get answered as though it's me answering from all the information I provided. And then if my little chatbot can't answer and I'm not there myself, then it'll simply say, not too sure, because I've told it not to access the internet. Not too sure, but I tell you what, let's just get Andre to contact you, and then we'll take contact details. So it's a nice little lead generation system as well. Okay, that was just asking what does footstots mean, and it gave a nice answer. But this is really next level. And this is just a bit of a joke. When I do my other AI presentations, I use this. So I always say, I mean, I'm not a very big public dancer. I can dance, I think, but I don't usually dance much in public, much to Lydia's dismay. But now these days, it's nice when if Lydia does a sale, then I say, oh, congratulations, meet me in the office. And then when she meets me in the office, that's a bit of tongue in cheek. Anyway, if I couldn't dance before, at least I've got that move now. Learned it from my AI twin. Okay, moving along. Just so you know, EXP is cloud-based, and again, as we've mentioned before, that's why they save so much money on physical offices and franchises that they can channel back to agents in various ways. But if you do prefer to now and then visit a physical space, here's something else, right? We have full access to Regus. Regus has, I'll show you now, I think it's 4,000 plus locations worldwide. And now as an EXP agent, you have a little Regus app on your phone, and you just show them that you're with EXP, and you get free access to any of those places, to the lounge areas. Okay, you can't use their private offices. If you want to use a private office, you can actually rent one for the day or for the hour or whatever, but you'll also get a discount because you're with EXP. But if you do need to access anything, then that's what you can do. And Regus is all over, okay? So you get complimentary access to the lounge areas of any Regus, so you can get Wi-Fi, often better than going and sitting in a coffee shop. So it gives you a professional workspace wherever you are. I mean, maybe between appointments, like we're in Durbanville. If we've got a listing in Cape Town, and maybe we've got appointments there at 10 in the morning and then again at 2, then we go to the Regus office in Cape Town, and we go and sit there. Lovely. Wi-Fi, air-conditioned. You don't have to go and sit in the coffee shop. Okay, anyway. So, but as I said, you can also book private offices, but at a discount rate. So it's really ideal if you need a bit of a mix, you know, or you can meet clients there as well if you want to. Okay, so you have still got that option at least. Okay, so this slide just basically sums up, I'd say, what gives us a real advantage in the modern market. Remember, as I said, this is not just an EXP sales pitch. This is showing you a whole lot of systems and a tech stack that's put together for us. Some of these systems people can access outside of EXP in any case, but this whole tech system, and each of these things costs so much money, but we just get it included. So this pretty much sums it up. I mean, you get better training. You've got better collaboration between agents because you're not franchises competing against each other. So we all collaborating countrywide and worldwide. You've got better technology. That is what this is really about today. It makes a huge difference when you've got the right technology. Strong infrastructure, global reach. You know, you got whatever. Just think about it, but you've seen it all today, and it gives us an edge. Better support, instant support, etc. So real estate is evolving rapidly, and we've mentioned this a couple of times. Tech, AI, marketing, your clients' expectations are shifting, okay? As I said before, agents who don't adapt, we're going to fall behind. not because you're a bad agent, but because the industry is moving on. So AI is not replacing agents. I've said that before as well. It's empowering the ones who know how to use it. Okay, so this is the perfect time to modernize your systems and future-proof your business. You've got to decide how you will adapt and what you need to incorporate. Very, very important. Okay. I do a quick run on ChatGPT as well, just so you don't get left behind with the ChatGPT thing. ChatGPT has evolved from a nice to have into an essential business infrastructure, according to me. This is available to everybody, obviously. So it's like having a researcher, a copywriter. It's just going to help you move faster, simplify your tasks, etc. So if you haven't been on my ChatGPT webinars yet, please attend the next one, but I'm sure most of you have. But I've got to run through it in any case, just quickly. My favorite thing, imagine your funniest and smartest friend who's always available, knows everything on the internet, can explain things to you in a way that makes sense and magically turns your rough ideas into polished content. Okay, so we'll run through this quickly. You can create unlimited content with ChatGPT, biographies, descriptions, listing descriptions, social media. It helps you compile your emails, advanced features such as analyzing documents and images and creating images. These things are shown in detail on our ChatGPT webinars, but it's unlimited creation for you. And it just really, really helps you speed up your entire marketing workflow. What we use ChatGPT for, almost on a weekly, but almost on a daily basis, is for analyzing images and documents. Have a look at our ChatGPT things. I don't know if I've got one or two examples in here. We'll see now. It helps us with zoning queries and analyzing scheme rules and things like that. Even troubleshooting software when we have problems with software, etc. So, and it can generate bulk social media for you in seconds as well. So I'm going to show you one or two things, mainly as they tie into our systems. So analyzing images, we mentioned that. Here I want to show you, for instance, as I said, we use Canva Pro, which is the ultimate design tool. But now you can also use Canva with ChatGPT to speed up things and to create bulk content. So let me just show you that, although I do show it on our webinars, just so you know. So let's just say you ask ChatGPT something like, please create a series of social media posts about something, okay? Create a series. So I want like 20 or 30 or 40 posts. Then I want you to please, ChatGPT, export all of that into an Excel file for me so that I can download the Excel file. But the main thing I want that for is I import all that, it puts it in the Excel file. I then import the Excel file into my Canva Pro, because Canva Pro has a bulk create function. So from that Excel file, I can then create 40 posts or 30 or however many it was that I asked ChatGPT to create. Bulk and very, very quickly, okay, in minutes. Here's an example. So I think here I asked ChatGPT just to provide me with a whole lot of real estate quotes. And it came up with number one, sold isn't just a sign, it's a celebration. So this is now something you can create an image with and a post. It also gives us a caption that we can use. Nice filler content to put out on your social media, etc. So it gave me a whole lot of them. It gave me the captions because I asked for it, and it gave me an image suggestion. Okay, so now I could go and bulk create this. I'll show you in Canva, and then I can just go and look for the correct images, or I don't have to look for them. I'll show you now. Okay, so that's what it did. I imported the Excel file into Canva, into the bulk create, and then so within minutes, it puts each of those taglines in a different image. So now I just wanted, obviously I wanted the background images. Now it had given me, let's just look here, suggestions. So the first one is hands holding champagne glasses. The second one is a close-up of house keys on a contract. And the third one is rolling hills and a distant mountain view and so on. There you'll see, there's the champagne glasses on the first one, the house keys on a contract and the rolling hills. Now the difference is, just a short while ago, I would have to now just go somewhere on the internet where they offer free pictures that you're allowed to use, and I'd try and look for something like champagne glasses and try and look for something. And it would take quite a lot of time. Luckily now, within ChatGPT can create images for you. So I simply, very, very simply, I went to ChatGPT again and I said, please create an image of hands holding champagne glasses in celebration. Please create an image of a close-up of house keys on a contract. And these images were created by ChatGPT. So now it is even quicker. So I'm just showing you, you've got to use AI. This you can use on your own, no matter what company you're with. You must get with it. And if you haven't watched our ChatGPT yet, please do. The new latest feature in ChatGPT is even more advanced, because right now you can actually connect ChatGPT to your Canva. Now it's not going to only create an image for me, which is just a static image. I can connect it to my Canva. I then ask it, for instance, here I said, please create an image for lead generation, and it must be aimed at attracting potential sellers to contact me if they are thinking of selling, and so on. So what it did is it created 4 examples. If I don't like them, I can ask it to create more, but it created 4. But the difference of this is now, this is not just the created image. So it's not just an image and I've got to use it as is. This is now connected to my Canva. So if I decide I like the second one, when I click on that, it's going to open it in my Canva and it's going to be editable. So it's not going to be a static image that I can't do anything with. All of this, all the text, I can edit and change and move around if I wanted to. So it's a very quick way to get a basic idea. And then I click on that and it takes me into my Canva and now I can edit it. Okay, we're going fast now, fast and furiously, but I'm nearly done. Just speed up anything you can. And ChatGPT is a wonderful way to do that. As I said, please watch our full webinar, next one coming up in January. Okay. What you also have to know now, and this is not the free part of ChatGPT, this part does cost money, $20 a month, but when you start using it, my word, you will use it all the time, and $20 is actually not a lot. It's like a complete personal assistant, 20 personal assistants. Okay, so ChatGPT is just no longer just a chat tool. It's a full AI partner. Okay, you can build custom GPTs, you can run deep research, analyze documents. No, I didn't show it now. You can automate your workflows. You've got what they call AI, an agent mode in ChatGPT that can do a whole lot of things for you and navigate websites on your behalf and then go and compile reports and everything. It's next level, and I'm not going into this now. I'm using this all the time. Okay, it just makes you so productive. Basically, you can now build your own team of AI-powered digital assistants. All I'm trying to show you now is where the world is heading. So you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start. Don't worry about what I'm showing you now, but this is where we are. And this is where we're heading. If you're not starting now to upskill yourself on technology, then you're really going to be left behind. But yeah, you can build a whole team of AI-powered digital assistants that can do all sorts of tasks for you, can handle marketing reports, do monthly things for you, weekly things, etc. So I'm not going to go too deeply into that, but that is where we are right now. Okay, real estate is transforming very, very quickly. So the tools we've covered today are already shaping the future. We've looked at AI and virtual environments and many automation tools and systems and seamless integrations becoming one and becoming standard for us. The main thing is agents who now sort of lean into these changes and start adopting them. Those are the agents that are going to lead their markets over the next decade. That's very important to know. Luckily with EXP, our model positions us to work smarter, to serve better, to scale, and they stay ahead all of the time. Okay, so I am going to end off with this. It pretty much sums up the entire EXP ecosystem. We've got the tools, the training, the community, multiple income streams. This is a topic we can speak about later. This model really just removes unnecessary overheads, and it gives us a complete global platform to operate from with everything you need to be at the forefront of technology in the real estate industry. Okay, so this whole integrated tech stack, if you want to call it that, it supports our marketing, our compliance, our transactions, our lead generation. It just keeps us there all the time at the top. Okay, you just got to start using it. It's a framework that's designed to help agents grow sustainably in a modern industry. Okay, and the main thing is this is not actually the future. This is already the present, and it's the reality for thousands of agents already that are using it. The future is much better than this, but we will be moving into it together at EXP. Okay, yeah, I said about multiple income streams. Again, embrace technology, or get left behind by those who do. Our adaptability is the key to our success. One of my favorite things. Yeah, don't be scared of technology. Let's just move forward with it. And now, let's connect if you want to. Right? We can connect. No pressure. No strings attached. So if you'd like a private walkthrough through any of these tools, have a deeper look, see if there's anything that could suit you, please reach out to us. We'd love to help anytime. We can also look together at your workflow and show you where your systems or these systems, what systems you're using or how these systems could support your business. So if you're curious about our model at all and what comes with it, and of course the various income streams, I mean, that's the next step, is just to see how much better compensated you can be and should be as an agent with multiple income streams. You're not just relying on one. And there's the whole global platform. Please reach out to us. We can chat about that too, one-on-one, private, Google Meets, anything. That's it from me. I hope you found some value in this. If there's any questions, you are welcome to ask now.